Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play the 7th Saga. I'm your host, Gamadarius. Last we left off, we did some grinding. Wasn't a terrible lot, but hey, I also used that Seed of Protection and got a 28. It feels good. It feels ridiculous, but it feels good. But now, this means that we can at the least just dip our toes into the castle of Iran, I think. It's been a while, I won't lie. This is what happens when you end up, let's playing patched versions of a game for the past, like, I don't know, 2 years? God, have I seriously been, like, doing 2 runs a year? That's what it feels like. Anyways, got a butt ton of monsters on our way. And I'm gonna lay waste to every last one of them. Eventually. The Castle Iran. Pretty neat place. If you go through that door to the left, you will only come out a door that is similarly mirrored on the right. So I've never gone through that door ever again once I figured out this small factor. Chimeras. That's apparently why they're called Chimera. I guess. That's not what chimeras are about, but still. Spirits. Spirit would have been a good name, but no. Localization team decided now we're going to call them chimeras. Despite making no sense. There's so many other monsters in this game that better deserve the name Chimera. This guy? That's a statue. Not even joking. This is localization teams, man. I don't know what the hell they were smoking. Anyways, let's hope that we can get some of this loot with relative ease. Haunch. Yeah, 1 damage. Think about only really the boss is going to give us the most trouble in this area. I think. But we got a light sword. I've actually tried to look up what it was that each of the individual items, different, I guess, translations would be, like a sight sword and whatnot. Dare I say it, I don't know when it comes to the sight. 2 chimeras. Well, too bad you already drained all my MP, you bastards. But that's what an M-herb is for. Come on. Hold still. Stop moving. But yeah, like there's Anger, Immortal, just a lot of other random ones, but Sight I never really got a good example for. I want to say that the best one that it could possibly be is a certain type of stone or something like a sort like that, but I never got really any definitive results. Damn it. Statue. Of course, meeting up with all these encounters might actually be a good thing, because as I said, this version of the game is significantly harder. And again, when I say harder, I mean you need to pour more effort into it via grinding. So that is a topaz. That is a mechanic I need to cover again. In where once you are defeated by an enemy, you will return to the last inn that you slept at with half of your gold. In order to not lose half of your gold, you instead buy gemstones, which range from 100 to like 50,000 gold. Now you can still sell back the gemstones for the same price that you bought them, so you can effectively bank how much money that you have simply by going, you know what, don't worry about it, and just drop 50G. I just go in the wrong... Yeah, I went the wrong direction. I've only played through this game like 4 other times before. I don't know where I'm going. I haven't even had to use a potion yet. That's just how insane Lugnut is. What's even funnier is that I want to say that Lugnut, the character Lugnut, not Lugnut thusly personified by Lux. I really don't remember what he was, but he was a Warforged Scout. And I don't mean the class. It was a 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons, by the way. And he chose a Scout Warforged, which are small. But I think because the party layout was something like I was playing a Cleric, it has Spellcaster, and we had a Thief. I want to say he was a Barbarian. I think. My brother would have to tell me, because it has been so long. And I think he was only there for a couple of sessions, but he was still one of the more rememberable characters for that particular campaign. Mostly because of how my brother likes to play his characters. Usually eccentrics. Not even joking. Character could be lawful good and be like more chaotic good tendencies half the time. Dang it. Stop dodging my attacks. How much... Now I'm curious how much experience I have to the next level. That's not what I meant. Oh, Jesus, 9. I'm trying to think of events through the game and whatnot that I can do now as Lugnut. Oh, nuts. It's now level 6. Ah, low end on the power again. High end on the magic, though. Would love to use lasers some more. Oh, wait, I can't. Someone stole my MP. Damn it. Honestly, again, this is definitely one of those places that I could probably do a lot of grinding, but I don't know if I want to do... I would need 10 more... no, 20 more fights against singular monsters in this area. Can't take potion 1 because we have too many. Well, there we go. Now I can take the potion 1. Yeah, knowing my luck, I'm gonna get all the fights that are only singular characters. Bulls. Oh, found a magic herb. That's good. And take that. P-Seed. P-Seed means Power Seed, which means I can effectively get 4 more power, which might make up for the last, like, 2 levels that were shite. Yeah, it's strangely far more, I want to say relaxing to play as Lugnut than Ulven. Oh, 50 HP. Left it with 1. Because I don't have to worry about money, which is alright by me. I really don't have to worry too much about many of my stats. Like, I don't have to worry about magic. Like, at all. Because laser spells are just that stupid strong. I'm not sure if I would qualify them as useful in coming boss fights and whatnot. But they're still very useful against certain, like, certain foes that might have a high, and I do mean a high, defense power. I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to face off against one boss off in the future distance. But again, there's just a bunch of things that I need to try to remember that I do or don't have many problems with as Lugnut. All boils down to needing to become a physical character, you know? Defend. Punch. A little bit of a story time when it comes to the original Lugnut. I can't take potion one because I have too many. So the original Lugnut, again, was more than likely, if I remember right, a barbarian character. He wasn't very much... He only had stealth because he was a small character, because that's how 3.5 worked back in the day. He did have a pretty high dexterity, though, so that helped. But anyways, so there was a time where he was... we were playing the world's largest dungeon, a D&D mega dungeon that has nearly all the monsters that were in the original 3.5 monster manual. This is a huge undertaking that, according to the book itself, would have taken 4 years of someone playing like once a week for like 4 to 6 hours every week to get through. That's assuming, of course, that's assuming that they'll, you know, go and explore everything, but I digress. And we had a trio of characters. My character, a favorite soul, think cleric, but more sorcerer flavored. A mind blade, Jim's character. A illusionist gnome. The first two were halflings, by the way. A illusionist gnome, which was not going to help all that much in the WLD, mind you. And, of course, Lugnut. Now, I don't remember how far into the dungeon they were, but there was this room that was full of sleeping orcs. And there was something we needed in the room. I don't even remember what at this point. Maybe, I think it was something stolen by the orcs. I just don't remember. But we needed to stealth through. And instead of having the Mind Blade, who had some stealthing abilities, quite a lot, like the most stealthing abilities of the party anyways, for some reason Lugnut decided to try to be the stealthy one. Don't know how. But he was made to make 2 stealth checks. One to, like, just step into the room, and the other to get the actual object in question. I'm gonna go around this room a couple of laps. And the first roll he did fine. The second roll he did abysmally. And he woke up specifically 1 orc. I think it was the orc that was holding the item. And when he... God, this was so stupid. When he went to... When the orc was about to wake everyone up, Lugnut had rolled an intimidation check to yell at him. Yes, yell at him to go back to sleep. And he rolled a nat 20, where the orc was like, I don't know, I think he rolled a sense motive or something of the sort, and he rolled abysmally. Just low. Just terribly low. And the orc himself just kind of handed over whatever the object was and went back to sleep. And my brother likes to imagine that it was depicted as Lugnut having turned a dial on his throat or something to make it so as his voice modulator made him sound all demonic-y. Like, alright. That works, Val. Anything to continue with getting through the dungeon? I didn't point out to the dungeon master how the yelling of that should have woken the other, 19 orcs that were in the chamber, but it got us through. Or, I don't know, I think the DM might also ruled it that the intimidation check worked on every orc in the room. Which, in order to continue through the game and have ourselves a nice little game night, it was worth it. That said, we never did finish WLD. Like, we've tried to run it... God, how many times? What has this level? Average, fantastic, mediocre, and laser 2. Cool, I can think about start using that for chimeras. M-Herb only restores 20 MP, by the way, so it will pretty much always just refill Lux nuts. No. To full MP for the time being. But anyways, yeah. WLD is a meat grinder of a dungeon. I really want to be able to run through it at some point with a group of people, but it's one of those dungeons that now that I am considered an adult and all the people I play with are also adults, we just would not have the time at all to play it. Or we would, but it would be more limited, I guess. We wouldn't... Not to mention that I think the people that I play with now, just kind of don't have the gumption to go through... Well, not the gumption, what's the word I'm looking for? They aren't the kind of players to go through a meaningless dungeon, as it were. It does have its own plots, its own rules and whatnot, but all in all, I don't know. I think maybe 2 of the people I play with right now would be the kind that go, yeah, world's largest dungeon, I'm in. But there's still going to be that little part inside of me that's like, just depends. All depends on the play group. I think that was one of our problems way back in the day when we tried to go through the world's largest dungeon. We tried to roleplay. And that sounds weird, but hear me out. When you're going through dungeons that are considered meat grinders, like the world's largest dungeon or the Tomb of Horror, shit like that, you really can't roleplay. By the way, here's Laser 2. Yeah. Really nice spell. And it's a spell that I'm gonna get bombarded with later in the playthrough. But yeah, World's Largest Dungeon, along with a lot of other mega dungeons or dungeons that were made for tournament play, however the frick that works, aren't really made for a lot of role playing. Like, I want to say that one of the times when our characters had fallen was because we were fighting a bunch of ghosts, but we were like level 2 or 3, and none of us had any magic weapons. I had cure spells, but I had used the last of my cure spells for the day, and that party TPK'd. There was another time there was a lightning trap that everyone tried to jump through. We were level 2, and it did 5d6 lightning damage. What even? And when our rogue was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to disable it first, he rolled so abysmally that he ended up activating it and got himself killed. It's just one of those dungeons, man. Oh, man. It's one of those dungeons. It's just so loadable. Oh no, my 5 last MP. don't even know what the hell to think about that dungeon anymore. Like, I want to go through with it. It feels like one of those big, super challenges that I've been just really, really, really looking forward to playing again. And at the same time, I'm like, who would put themselves through this? Young me would put myself through that. That's who. You can stop dodging anytime now. Guy. Thank you. Yeah, if I was younger again, I would totally turn to the party and be all like, hey, you just kind of want to randomly go through this and attempt it for a little bit. But at the same time, I know myself and I'm like, just, Not to mention, there's just it's mostly a whole high level amount of bullshit that's in that dungeon. Like, they have separate pages, essentially, separate sections for what would be suggested for a certain character level. Oh, son of a bitch. 1 second. The goddamn OBS is being a pain in the ass. Is it working? Okay. Oh, yeah. There's just certain things that would be done at certain levels, certain sections at that. So for the first level, it's like supposed to be meant for level 1-ish characters through level God knows what the hell anymore. And to the right of it is for, slightly higher level characters. But we're talking like 6th level. And then above that, I think it's supposed to be like 12th level characters. So you can go from fighting off kobolds and whatnot right into fighting against like celestials and demons. Like, what the hell? Who designed this? And how high were they? God, I've made a lot of money. Alright. I'm gonna go through 10 more fights, level up, and then I'm gonna go against the boss. Deeply apologize if this is not what you were quite expecting when it came through another 7th Saga Let's Play. Usually when I play this, it's the patched version. Again, patched version has better stats for your main character. So the trouble is that even though it might look like I'm having no problem whatsoever, if I were to face the boss right now, he would probably spank me. So I just need one more level. And this is why I'm pretty much thinking whether or not it'd be a good idea to just level up to what some walkthroughs would consider the minimum of getting through certain areas, and then I'll continue recording, because there's going to be some parts, I promise you, there's going to be some parts of the game where I'm just going to go, yeah, no, it's time to grind. For example, pretty much right after this area, I got to be grinding again. Let's see. Pretty much when I get to the next town. Boy, you guys thought that I had a problem right after the Cave of Earth before. Woo! Of course, grinding like this in the original... Well, grinding like this with the Elnard version of 7th Saga wasn't terrible, because it was just a lot of experience points. And experience points means, yes, good time. But the gold that you earned never really met up, never really caught up all that much. In which case, I was not grinding for experience points; I was grinding for gold, and that could be a little bit more troublesome, tiresome. I guess tiresome would be the right word, because then you're just looking at this one number slowly going up, Like, if I had played as, during my Let's Play of Olben, had I have kept with the original 7th Saga and not the Elnard patch, then I probably could have afforded that super awesome axe that I got a little mid into the game a lot sooner, because I would have still needed to grind for experience points. So it's kind of a balance out with some of the certain characters. I don't need to grind for experience points, but I do need to grind for this money, so I'm still grinding for experience points. That kind of stupid shit. Not too much more, I promise. And then we'll fight a boss. And then we'll be victorious and be awesome. And be known countrywide. By the way, the definition of countries in this game are kind of weird. I'm going to pretty much always assume that when I go to one place that says this is the kingdom of blah blah blah, that there's a bunch of other small villages that are of no particular mind between where I first set out and where the next kingdom is. Because what kingdom has only just one massive castle? And that's it. Like, no other towns or whatnot. Okay, I'm at 2 experience points until I level up. I'm gonna at least stand right here. Yeah, the crystal ball is really helpful in this situation. You can, the white dots around the middle dot are enemies. The big white circles are towns. Yeah. 714-643. Not terrible, but not the best. Oh. Still, going into this fight, I should be as unto a god. And this is Romus. Don't know how many times it is that I've beaten them in the past, but we're going to use Bottle of Power. That'll double our defense. Yes. And then, Bottle of Power. That doubles our attack power. So now when we go to do this... Oh yeah. Get wrecked. Yeah, this attack, by the way, is not magic. That is just his regular roll attack. And... not casting any spells. Cool. Lots of XP. Not enough to level. A little sad. Curse of Romus is gone. Lugnut found the key of Earth! Awesome. Actually, how much did that... Oh, that's like half of my experience points I needed. Awesome. And now we're going back to the clanky clanky. That's a good noise. That's a good noise right there. And because the curse is lifted, no enemies. Also fantastic. So, this kind of sucks at the same time, because this was a pretty decent place to grind. Well, still, at this point, it's not. It's kind of weird to say it like that, but you'll see in the next video. Because I'm going to be grinding between this video and the next video. I say because the early game grind is kind of where it's at its worst. But, well, we'll see. Again, it's been a while since I've played just the base game of 7th Saga. And even though LUX himself, or Lugnut himself, is a rather powerful character, can still be a right pain in the ass, I assure you. So, we're gonna see about Gain. He'll be all. Please hurry and open the gate. Now, to save some brevity for later on, when I go to open the gate, he will suddenly disappear and already be in the next town. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to one episode here. And when we return, I will have used that seed of power. I will have grounded up probably a couple of levels because that shit's probably not all that entertaining. Unless people want me to show the grinding part. I don't know. I'll ask on my Discord and you guys will see. So anyways, thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying playing it. It's always good to get back to some classic 7th Saga as opposed to the patched version. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.